at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
I hope this helps someone that is struggling to get there, and she would too.
Parents of Makenna Seiler, who was killed during the shooting at Robb Elementary, create a special way to honor her memory and help others.
And the NCAA says the women's Final Four will be returning to San Antonio. We're going to tell you when.
Outside with Live Cam, if you were hoping the clouds were gone and the mist and rain were out of here, we're not quite there yet. But I have good news, and that is Stephanie Serna is back. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, that was nice. It's nice to be back. Yeah, it's still rainy, but I hear it won't be as cold.
Well, I'll tell you what, we kicked up the heat in the studio this morning just in case. Did you notice that this morning, Mike?
And I turned it back down, yes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Just a little bit. So anyway, yes, it's not as cold this morning as what it has been. Still kind of bone chilling. Grab a jacket. You'll still need it today, but at least we'll make it up into the 50s today. So that's a little bit of a victory there. We'll still have a few showers around later on today, as we do right now. Lots of clouds out there. The road appears to be kind of damp over there by 410. And as you can see, majority of the rain is well off to the east, and it's just sort of scattershot here and there with some of these showers. A couple of them as you head down 37, and right around this little band is going to be working its way on through Floresville. And then we've got just a few scattered about the area. We'll keep a couple of them here and there. It's just going to be hit or miss this morning, and that'll be the situation today. Put a 20% chance of rain on it, so not a great shot. We also have some fog to deal with. Some out there at Randolph, Stinson, bit more down south on Pleasanton, and then heading out to the west in Uvalde, 2.5 miles visibility. Very thick at Rock Springs, Austin as well, and then going down 35 in toward Carrizo Springs. So we're going to be dealing with that this morning as well. And temperatures, yeah, it is still chilly, but we are actually closer to our normal low in the mid and upper 40s, 50 at Castroville right now, mid 40s in the hill country. And you can also notice just a hint more humidity out there. Mold is on the low side. The updated count, of course, will come out later on this morning. 50 at noon, 55 high temperature. Again, 1 or 2 showers, not a complete rain out, but don't get caught without your umbrella, because it'll be kind of a Murphy's Law type thing. If you don't have it, you'll get 1 or 2 of these showers. Pretty much the same thing tomorrow. We will add 5, 6, 7 degrees to the high temperature. Then we'll have the Thanksgiving forecast and the long Thanksgiving weekend, getting a little more focused on what's going to be happening then as far as any rain chances. Details in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark?
Mike, thank you. Dream big, love bigger. That's how Makenna Seiler's parents want everyone to remember their little girl. Makenna was killed at Robb Elementary nearly 6 months ago.
Her mom and dad spoke with Lee Waldman for the first time, and they explain why they're starting a scholarship in her honor.
The animals that are on her mural, that's her dog Bailey and her daddy's horse, Dude.
She was so excited to show steers. She wanted to do that worse than anything.
Her passion for animals is clear by looking at Makenna Seiler's mural.
She had a connection with animals for sure.
The yellow butterflies flying around her. April and Chris say they've been a constant presence since her death.
Even in this cold weather, like every day I've seen butterflies, and I feel like it's a sign that she gives us that everything's going to be okay.
When Makenna wasn't playing softball or flag football, she was on the back of a horse, looking forward to the day she was old enough to show animals on her own in 4-H.
We're just trying to give back, to a student here in our community, a future that Makenna didn't get to have.
Dreaming big, loving bigger.
And I love him very, very much, and hope you have a good Father's Day, and I love you.
Just like Makenna did every moment. Partnering with Uvalde County 4-H to create a scholarship in Makenna's name, they hope the recipient honors their daughter's life.
I hope this helps someone that is struggling to get there, and she would too.
And never forgets her name.
The day that I dropped her off at school, I saw her stop and say good morning to every single person that she passed on the sidewalk. That's how she was. She made sure everybody felt loved.
Right now, they've raised about $2,000 for her scholarship. They need to get to $25,000 in order to get it endowed. On our website, KSAT.com, we have a link to this website where you can read more about Makenna, see some of her photos, and then at the bottom, donate directly to the Makenna Lee Elrod Seiler Scholarship to keep it going year after year. Back to you.
Lee Waldman, thank you. In other news this morning, a Pennsylvania woman who barged into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office during the Capitol insurrection has been found guilty. Riley Williams was also seen in a mob that stormed the building January 6th last year. On Monday, she was convicted of 6 counts, including assaulting or resisting an officer and disorderly conduct. But a mistrial was declared on 2 other charges, which included obstruction, the certification of Electoral College, which carries up to 20 years in prison. Williams is now facing up to 3 years in prison. She'll be sentenced on February 22nd.
In Indonesia, rescuers are searching for bodies and survivors in the rubble of buildings that collapsed in an earthquake that killed at least 252 people on the country's main island of Java. Excavators, trucks, and other heavy equipment sent overnight reached some of the hardest hit areas. The city was near the epicenter of the magnitude 5.6 quake yesterday, which sent terrified residents fleeing into the streets. One woman told the Associated Press when the earthquake hit, her home started, quote, shaking like it was dancing, and she barely escaped with her family. Now, more than 300 people were seriously hurt and at least 600 suffered minor injuries.
The U.S. Coast Guard has rescued more than 100 migrants from an overloaded boat off the Florida coast. The vessel was about to hit a sandbar south of Whale Harbor, the Upper Key West area, yesterday. Coast Guard received reports of several people in the water. It's unclear exactly how many people were on the boat or what country they're from. Rough conditions have slowed down the rescues. Crews were battling 10-foot waves and 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Time now, 4:36 and 46 degrees for now.
If tech gifts are on your Christmas list this year, you're in luck. We'll run down some of the best deals you'll see this week.
And UTSA football gets ready to do something they've never done before. We're going to tell you what it is and how the team is preparing for their big game against Utah.
Roads are still wet in many spots around town. Tracking Traffic Authority with our friends at TransGuide over there. They work 24/7. Their camera right there is at 35 and Burbank.
A quick look out there with a live cam. Still chilly out there, 46 degrees, and expecting it to maybe get to the 50s. We'll be right back.
This was the scene at Smoke Barbecue and Sky Bar downtown yesterday as the Crocketeers, who cheer on local soccer San Antonio FC, gathered for a watch party to cheer on USA taking on Wales in the opening match of this year's World Cup. It was a nice start for Team USA. The Americans struck first in the 36th minute. Christian Pulisic with a great pass to head to Tim Weah, who finished for the opening goal. It was 1-0 USA at the half, but later Wales answers in the 82nd minute on a penalty kick. Gareth Bale powers it through the keeper's gloves for the equalizer, and the Americans settle for a 1-1 draw. They will next play England Friday at 1 p.m. Local fans just getting excited to be able to get together to cheer on their team.
To have this amount of people here to root for our home team, the U.S., it's fantastic.
Us as a city, us as a nation, we need to represent. The World Cup comes every so often. We didn't make it 4 years ago. We're here today. Like, get out, take some time off of work, go watch a game, get into it, cheer, be excited. Let this bring us together.
I need that guy's energy every day. Well, the NCAA says the women's Final Four will be returning to San Antonio in 2029. Congratulations to San Antonio sports and the local organizing committee for landing the major sporting event again. This will be the 4th time San Antonio has been selected to host the NCAA women's Final Four, including 2002, 2010, and last year. But San Antonio is also the site of the all-time Final Four attendance record in 2002 at 29,619. UTSA Roadrunners have earned the right to host their 2nd straight Conference USA Championship game in the Alamo Dome on December 2nd after they roughed up Rice in Houston Saturday on a cold, rainy day. Quarterback Frank Harris was a superstar, accounting for 5 touchdowns with 2 in the air, with 103 yards passing and 3 more on the ground. As a result, the Roadrunners are now Conference USA regular season champs, who will try to do something never done before, go undefeated in league play when they host UTEP in the Dome this Saturday. And now in the coaches poll, they've finally gotten into the top 25.
I'm going to surprise y'all because I know I'm a big don't eat the cheese guy, right? And don't really like to talk about that stuff. But I think our kids can handle that now. I think we're used to it, and I think we expect it. And I think it's something that we can use to motivate a little bit. I know it's great for recruiting. It's great for boosters. It's great for national publicity. And we've been hunted, and the target has been on our back for a long time now. So I don't think we're sneaking up on anybody anymore. I think everybody's tired of the road runners. So I'm all about it, man. I'm excited.
Keep it going, Coach. Kickoff of the Dome to complete the regular season will be at 2:30 p.m. And that's a quick look at morning sports.
Very exciting. In time now, 4:43, 46 degrees for now. This week is a big one for shoppers. What to consider when it comes to Black Friday and big deals on electronics.
The next new clues in the deepening Idaho murder mystery of 4 college students. What police are saying about a dog that was found unharmed inside that home.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. There are new developments in the Idaho murder of 4 college students as the community gathers for a memorial service for one of the victims. ABC's Makenna Whitworth has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new clues in the deepening Idaho murder mystery as fears in the community grow. Authorities desperately searching for the killer who stabbed 4 college students to death.
As time's going by, it's feeling a little uncertain.
Overnight, Ethan Chapin's family at his memorial service expressing their gratitude for the support from strangers and loved ones.
Your outreach and kind words are profoundly touching.
Also this morning, what police are saying about a dog that was found unharmed inside the home after the horrific attack.
There's no forced entry and there's no dog barking. Do we think it was someone that they knew?
We don't know if the dog was barking or not, so that's part of the ongoing investigation to figure out kind of what occurred.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the very latest on this urgent investigation. With your GMA First Look, I'm Makenna Whitworth, ABC News, Moscow, Idaho.
Well, we're obviously getting closer to Black Friday. That's typically when stores offer the biggest doorbuster deals on electronics.
So if there's a techie on your gift list, but you don't know where to start, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has some holiday help.
Want to put tech under the tree but need a little help? We asked the tech editors at Consumer Reports what they personally recommend. First up, for the music or podcast listener, a new speaker.
I would definitely suggest the Sonos One smart speaker. There are a lot of things to like about it. One, it sounds great, and that's really the most important thing with any speaker.
Thinking smartphone? Milani Pinola likes Motorola's Moto 5 stylus phone.
It's hard to believe that you get all these features for the price that you're paying.
Those features include a rare SD card for expandable storage and the nearly extinct headphone jack. As for laptops, Nicholas De Leon recommends the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go 2. It's lightweight and has a 12-hour battery life. Finally, here's what their TV guru suggests.
A great gift for anyone this holiday season, including me, would be a Sonos Ray soundbar speaker. It's the least expensive Sonos soundbar that you can buy, and it has impressive sound quality for its size, which makes it good not only just for watching movies and playing video games, but also listening to music.
You can pair it with other Sonos speakers for surround sound in your living room. You don't have to wait until you're finished with the turkey and pie to shop the Black Friday sales they're on. But if you're worried that the price will drop after you buy, keep in mind stores like Target and Best Buy will refund the difference. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
A quick look out there with TransGuide looking over at Highway 90 at Couples where things are moving. Highway 281, things look good over there at Sonterra Boulevard. No problems you see so far?
I was kind of hoping, I don't see any problems. I was kind of hoping that we'd be done with the rain this morning, but the wipers were going again this morning on the way to work.
Lighter little sprinkles, though.
Yeah, very light.
And it seems like there's just kind of fewer and a little further between than what we had at this time yesterday. And we're still going to have a few around this afternoon. I think lesser chances, though, for rain than what we had yesterday. Same thing pretty much on Wednesday. Thursday, different situation. There's, been a little bit of, a lot of question as to exactly what's going to be happening on Thursday as well as on Friday. Things things are kind of coming into agreement a little bit more. Going to touch on that in just a moment. First of all, road is damp over there at 410 by the airport, and here's these few little sprinkles. Now, of course, we've got more of this rain well off to the east of us. Some of these heavier downpours right there, but in and around town, most of it is just on the light side. This one little band going from Floresville just crossed over 37, going down. Just crossed over highway over there by Kennedy. 37's right over in here, and then in and around town we've got a couple of these again, just few and kind of far between as far as a few of these sprinkly little showers that are moving on through here. But even though it's not raining where you are right now, there have been a few showers, so road's going to be damp. Take it easy as you head out this morning. A couple more. It's nice seeing some around Medina Lake over there on the northwest side heading out 10. You're going to run into a couple of those showers. Also, some fog in the area. 5 miles visibility, Kerrville. Same thing, Randolph, Stinson. A little bit more down around Pleasanton. A lot around Rock Springs, Uvalde, as well as going down 35 in toward Cotulla. Throughout the rest of the morning, kind of like yesterday, temperatures really aren't going to be going much of anywhere. We stay mid-40s, fluctuate a degree or two. A few of these light showers around here, and that'll be the situation through the rest of the morning. If you see a peak of sunshine, consider yourself lucky. It's kind of like winning the lottery, seeing sunshine around here, because we're just going to have a bunch of clouds. Lesser chances for some rain. We are going to make it up to 55 later on this afternoon. Computer model, rapid update model. I think this one does a really good job showing one or two of those showers out there, and that's going to be the situation again through the rest of the afternoon, and maybe even at times no rain, but just keep an umbrella handy with some of these sprinkly showers. And then that's going to be the same situation going into tomorrow. A few of those showers kind of hanging around here. All right, here's the satellite radar picture. You can see all the moisture coming in here from the southwest, and not much around the country that is kind of upstream from us, but you got to look all the way up there in the Gulf of Alaska, and a low developing up there is going to kind of run its way down the Rockies and move in our direction. So here's what's going to be going on Thanksgiving. We will have a few showers around the area, and computer models are more in agreement that looks like Thanksgiving is going to be on the wet side. Some models have a little bit more rain, but we're going to have showers throughout the day on Thanksgiving. Some of those will extend then into Friday morning, and then we get sort of the dry slot in behind that low. That thing's going to be staying far enough up to the north of us, and then we get that dry air coming on in here, and that'll be clearing us out along with a front coming through on Friday. 50 at noon today. Couple of showers around the area, and then a high temperature today, 55. Boy, first time we've cracked the 50s in seems like forever, and a couple of showers, just one or two of them scattered around here or there. Same thing tomorrow, make it up to 60 though, and then upper 60s on Thanksgiving. And again, we are going to have showers good chunk of the day on Thanksgiving, off and on, even a few thunderstorms, especially off to the east.
Oh, really?
Then some leftover, yeah, just well off there to the east and especially northeast. And then some leftover rain early on Friday will start to clear on out. Weekend still looks very, very nice. If the path of this thing changes a little bit, you know, that can affect things. But as of right now, the whole low stays just to the north of us to keep most everything just up to the north of us.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, we'll keep watching over the next couple of days, obviously.
Yeah, of course, very closely.
Yes.
Time now, 4:52, 46 degrees for now.
Up next, a famous male strip club gets a dramatic series treatment. We'll tell you where you can watch. Plus, Taylor Swift's hot streak continues. Well, Steph, guess what? First two episodes of Welcome to Chippendales are now available. And Taylor Swift reclaims part of the Billboard charts.
Thanks. For the latest of what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Happy viewing.
It's time to go to Chippendales. The male strip club gets the dramatic series treatment in Welcome to Chippendales, starring Kumail Nanjiani and Annalie Ashford as the married couple who created the empire and ran it until things took a dark turn. The pair tell me they never actually made it to a Chippendales show, but they got the full experience by watching the recreation on set.
There were times where we would have to be silent because we needed sound, and there would be a part where they'd rip off their pants and all of us would still go, oh!
Yeah, it was like, and then
help it.
80s are going, shh, shh, shh. It would be like, oh, shh, shh, shh.
But 200 women, me included.
The first two episodes of Welcome to Chippendales are out today on Hulu. The FX series Atlanta recently wrapped its run after 4 seasons, but is it possible we might return one day to Donald Glover's ATL? Star Brian Tyree Henry, who played Paperboy, tells me anything's possible.
I don't necessarily want to play a 50-year-old rapper. So hopefully, like, Alfred has somehow created his own dispensary, his own farm, hopefully there's an elevation. But nah, it's not off the table now. You just ride.
Henry co-stars in the film Causeway, which is streaming now on Apple TV+. Taylor Swift's hot streak continues, her song Antihero extending its run at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart to 4 weeks. And her album Midnights is back at #1 for a third non-consecutive week on the Billboard 200. And happy birthday to the voice of Moana, Auli'i Cravalho is 22 today, while Halloween scream queen Jamie Lee Curtis is 64. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
457, 46 degrees.
This morning, we are getting more information about a U.S. Army veteran who stopped a suspected gunman from killing more people inside a nightclub in Colorado. What he says he did first when his military training kicked in during that shooting.
And this morning, Judson ISD has new leadership after its superintendent resigned. What the Board of Trustee president is saying about why she resigned and how much the school has to pay to make good on her contract.
And a quick look out there with TransGuide looking at Highway 90 at Couples. Things looking good over there. Also at Highway 281 at Sunterra Boulevard. Stephen Cavazos has just walked in the studio. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
It was almost a normal closing time routine for a Wendy's on San Antonio's west side last night, but a fire changed all that. We'll get an update from firefighters about how it happened.
I'm ABC's Em Nguyen in Washington. We're hearing for the first time from the man that police are hailing a hero in the Club Q mass shooting in Colorado Springs. The details and the latest on the investigation coming up.
And taking a look outside with a live cam. We're still cold, maybe not as cold as yesterday, but we are starting our day at 46 degrees.
And a good morning to you. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of November.
Yes, happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I know a lot of kiddos have the week off, and so far it's been rainy and cold.
It has been rainy and cold. Mike, do we warm up at all this week at any point?
Well, compared to where we have been over the weekend and yesterday, yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, we are warmer this morning than what it was yesterday. It's still that damp chill out there with these temperatures that, even though we're up in the upper 40s with all the extra moisture in the atmosphere and dew points running neck and neck with the temperature, and that draws the heat away from your body, as I always say, kind of sneaks down the back of your neck. And we are going to get warmer later on this afternoon. We'll actually make it up in the mid 50s later on today. No heat wave, but better than just staying in the 40s. We haven't been in the 50s, it seems like, in forever. The aquifer yesterday went up 0.6 of a foot. We had some decent rain. Actually picked up another about a third of an inch of rain out there at the airport. Mold is on the low side, and as far as radar is concerned, we do have a few showers out there right now, kind of like we've had the past couple of days, just a few light ones here and there. Roads are damp. It's been raining off and on at least throughout most all of the evening, and not a lot, as you can see, sort of concentrated over here on the northwest side of Bexar County, and elsewhere around town. That's pretty much about it. There is more rain well off to the east and down to the southeast over there. We will just continue to have just one or two, again, of these light little showers around the area. Not only this morning, but also this afternoon. 5 miles visibility in New Braunfels. Same thing, Randolph, Stinson, Pleasanton, and then heading out in toward Uvalde. That's improved somewhat, but still a lot of thick fog in Rock Springs, going down 35 in toward Cotulla as well as Laredo. And we'll be dealing with that this morning as well. So a couple of showers, mid 50s later on today. Warmer than yesterday, as well as Sunday and Saturday. A couple of showers tomorrow. Same situation as far as rain chances, 20% at best, low 60s. So we continue a little bit of a warming trend, and we make it into the upper 60s on Thanksgiving. But we will have showers much of the day, even a couple of thunderstorms off to the east and northeast on Thursday. Some leftover rain early on Friday, and then we're going to be seeing more sunshine late in the day Friday, and as well as the weekend will be in the upper 60s. So looks like a very nice weekend to maybe get outside, do some shopping, put up your Christmas decorations, whatever the case may be. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, good morning, sir. Anything going on yet?
I wouldn't say that we're catching anything on these TransGuide cameras, Mike, but we are seeing some issues
issues out there. But let's get a look at these TransGuide cameras. I was hearing from Steph and Sarah that they look pretty nice and crisp out there. Check out 35 at Burbank. That's actually a pretty nice shot. You can see just maybe a few cars making their way on by. And essentially, that's going to be the same story with a lot of these areas that we're showing you there. 1604 at Marbach received an update from our friends over there at TransGuide that it has been a quiet day, but we know we're going to see a lot of folks hitting the roadways as we get closer to Turkey Day. But right now, it's pretty quiet. As you can see on the map, lots of green out there, but we have to take you into a crash that was reported right here off of 1604 westbound at O'Connor Road. Not sure why we're not able to zoom in. There we go. Now, this is an area, unfortunately, there are no TransGuide cameras out there, so we can't show you what the conditions are right now, but as always, we hope everyone's doing okay. Looks like that crash was reported sometime after 3:30 this morning. We'll keep a close eye on it, but it doesn't look like it's causing any issues for drivers. Travel times right now, that journey from Bernie, if you're making your way to the Alamo City, 25 minutes on I-10 eastbound. About a 27-minute drive time, so don't hurry if you're traveling in on 281 heading in from Bulverde in the southbound lanes. And not too awful from New Braunfels, 35. Looks like 25 minutes traveling in those southbound lanes. So right now things are in the clear, and we get it back here on TransGuide 10 at Crossroads. Very quiet out there. I did have my windshield wipers working this morning, so just watch out for a few of those damp spots. But other than that, we're off to a decent start, and we'll keep a close eye on things and have updates throughout the morning. Mark, stuff.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, Wendy's is sometimes known for its spicy food, but one location got a little too hot last night. San Antonio firefighters were called out to the West Side restaurant in the 4400 block of West Commerce near Holt Street around 11 p.m. When they got there, they found smoke and a small fire burning near a bird's nest and some wiring in the top corner of the building. The restaurant was just about to close and there were no injuries reported. A health inspector will be called out before the business reopens again. San Antonio police have arrested a 36-year-old man for attempting to burn down his apartment unit on the city's northeast side.
Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio. And Sarah, what was the reason he gave police for his attempt to set the apartment on fire?
Good morning, Mark and Steph. He told police he wasn't trying to burn his apartment unit down, but that he was cleansing his home with fire for religious reasons with incense. But that's not what police say they saw through video security cameras. This is 36-year-old Roger Roel. His neighbor called police at 4 in the morning on November 10th after she saw Roel through her security camera igniting a fire to his apartment door frame. Police went out to the apartments on Perrin Beidel to review the video footage. In a police affidavit, it says Roel was seen igniting 3 separate fires to his apartment door frame. Those fires extinguished themselves before spreading to the rest of the building. In more surveillance video from 3 days later, police say Roel is seen lighting something on fire inside his apartment, then placing an open flame on his window, then throwing that object out of his window. Then later that night, police say Roel is seen doing the same thing, igniting his window on fire again. Police confirmed with apartment managers about the fire damage done inside to the unit, to the carpet, stove, and floor. Roel was arrested by SAPD yesterday after admitting to starting those fires. He is facing charges of arson to his own residence. Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. We now know the name of a passenger killed during a crash as the driver was trying to get away from the Bexar County Sheriff deputies. We also know the name of the now arrested driver. So the victim is 33-year-old Amber Ponce, and according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. This crash happened last Thursday on I-35 near Frio Street. A deputy attempted to pull over the vehicle that was going 40 miles per hour on the highway, and that's when they say the driver sped off. The car then went over the edge of the highway ramp and landed on the street below. Ponce was taken to the hospital where she later died. The driver was identified by BCSO as 19-year-old James Chancellor. He is still in the hospital and is now facing murder charges.
This morning, Judson ISD is under new leadership. The Board of Trustees unanimously accepted a resignation agreement for Superintendent Dr. Jeanette Ball. The announcement caught many by surprise, and many still have questions about what it led to the resignation. Dr. Ball took the superintendent position back in 2018. Her contract was supposed to last through January of 2025. Now the accepted agreement will pay her $140,000. The board president had this to say when asked about the resignation.
There's really not much I can say about it. This is a personnel matter. I can't say it. Yeah, it's a personnel matter, and I can't comment on any of that. I can't.
Deputy Superintendent Dr. Robert Fields will now operate as the interim super for the time being. Although the resignation agreement was accepted yesterday's meeting, the district put out a statement saying it's not completely finalized. just yet. For the first time, we're hearing from the man who police hail a hero during that deadly club shooting up in Colorado Springs.
As ABC's M. Wynn reports, he's an Army veteran who potentially saved dozens of lives that night.
This morning, U.S. Army veteran Richard Fierro speaking publicly for the first time since police credited him for taking down the gunman inside Club Q in Colorado Springs, potentially saving dozens of lives. He was with his wife, daughter, and friends Saturday when shots rang out.
I saw him and I went and got him.
His combat training in Iraq and Afghanistan kicked in.
Pull the dude down, pin him against the side, and just started. Oh, I think he went for his pistol. I don't know. Either way, I grabbed the pistol from him.
He told another patron to grab the shooter's AR-15.
I just kept wailing on him. And I told the kid in front of me, kick him in his head. One of the performers walked by or was running by, and I told her, kick this guy, kick this guy. And she took her high heel and stuffed it in his face or his head or whatever she could hit.
A hero in the eyes of many, but not in his own. His daughter's boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, among those fatally shot.
There are 5 people that I could not help, and one of which was family to me. I'm not excited. That guy is still alive, and my family is not.
The 22-year-old suspect, Anderson Lee Aldrich, facing murder and hate crime charges. He's seen here in an arrest last year with his hands up, taken into custody for allegedly making bomb threats against his own mother. Sources telling ABC News that case was dismissed because his family refused to cooperate.
The suspect was due in court Monday for his first appearance, but the DA tells ABC News his injuries were so significant he had to stay in the hospital. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Time now, 5:10 and 46 degrees for now.
Glad you're with us. Meta is making some changes to privacy settings. How those changes are meant to better protect younger users.
Let's look out there with live cams. Starting cold still on this Thanksgiving week. 46 degrees for now. We're going to be checking in with Mike later in the newscast.
Welcome back on your Tuesday morning, 5:14. Meta is rolling out new privacy updates for teens on Facebook and Instagram. ABC's Andrew Dembert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, making Facebook and Instagram safer for teenagers. New steps are being taken to prevent teens from messaging adults who have been blocked or reported by a young person. Meta is also looking into removing the message button on teens' Instagram accounts when a suspicious account views their profile. The government is cracking down on ringless voicemail. The FCC says the silent messages that leave spam in your inbox are subject to the same rules that forbid robocalls without consent. So companies will need your permission before leaving the ringless voicemail. And finally, get ready for an all-electric delivery fleet from Domino's. The Pete's chain putting more than 800 Chevy Bolts into service in the coming months. They'll be used for deliveries from U.S. stores. I had a cheesy pizza pun, but it doesn't deliver. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
The guy is relentless.
I know. It wasn't bad. Time now, 5:15 and 46 degrees for now.
If you have to head out the door at 5:15 or in the next few minutes, here's how things are looking right now. There's 281 at Sonterra. Stephen Cavazos is going to start the engines and check things out for us here coming up on the roads.
This year, take the time to melt into your holiday moments with Lindor. Irresistibly smooth chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Mucinex Night Shift fights your worst nighttime symptoms so you can get to sleep and wake up ready to go. How could you? Wake up to a new you. With Mucinex Night Shift, it's not cold and flu season. It's always comeback season.
For people who are a little intense about hydration, Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Lightweight, fragrance-free, 48-hour hydration for that healthy skin glow. Neutrogena for people with skin.
Just about 5:19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the beards are looking good, but we'll talk about that
The
later.
beards and the mustache or
Yes.
the whiskers. You know, we're just talking about eventually we're going to do a big shave off.
Yeah, it's almost time.
That's almost time. But I'm going to keep mine so that way I will be the hairiest guy in the newsroom. You all won't have any hair on your face. So
Sounds like a plan.
I'm ready. And I got to be honest, I think this is your best beard yet. And I know we had a jump start of a few days compared to the last couple of years, but yeah, it looks really good, Mike.
I forget if I had trimmed a little bit just to keep it the one length or something like that. What was interesting yesterday on SA Live, we were doing little fun games or something like that. One of them was almost like bobbing for apples and in a pipe tin with whipped cream. Whipped cream all over my beard. I was like, well, if I ever thought any question about it being gray or white, you couldn't even see the whipped cream in there. The hair is white. So white.
All right, let's check on the road, Steven.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and switch lanes here for a minute. We'll talk no shave a little bit later on, but let's get a wide look at TransGuide. If we move that camera in, we can see exactly what's taking place out on the roadways. Not a whole lot, which is great as we get ready to drive off into the turkey holiday. But just remember to stay safe out there. There were a few issues earlier that TransGuide cameras weren't capturing a crash off of 1604. That's already cleared out, so better news to report there. But as you can see, the commute is getting rolling there. Nothing to show you there on the map. It's just pretty quiet. But we take you to some road closures to be on the lookout for. FM 1535 over on Northwest Military Highway. This is something that just to keep on your radar up until Thursday, November 4th, that is. 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening, there will be utility work taking place. And there's lots of work taking place off of Northwest Military. So just expect to see alternating lane closures from Loop 1604 to Hebner Road. And again, if you want to be updated, just head over to our website, ksat.com/traffic. Scroll to the bottom of the screen. You'll find a full list of closures there. But right now, you can see traffic there at 37 at 410 is moving along just fine, Mike. But I'm not sure if there's a few damp spots out there folks need to be on the lookout for.
Yep, had some sprinkles on the windshield this morning, and I know, did you see any, Stephen, any sprinkles? You did, Mark? Stuff, yeah, and so we saw a little bit out there. Looks like it's kind of damp over there by 410. And speaking of sprinkles, we almost have to squint to kind of see what's going on in our vicinity. Obviously, more rain off to the east and to the southeast. But here in and around town, yep, we do have a few of these just light little sprinkly showers. A couple of them move through Floresville, heading off to the east. A couple of heavier showers. A decent one moving in toward Cuero, but again, in and around the metropolitan area, most of it is just this really, really light stuff. A few more on the northwest side over there, just crossing over 10, going up 281 in toward Bulverde. And then here in town, yep, got a couple more that are sliding on in. So if you're going right up there, 281, just by the heading up toward the airport, going to have a couple of them, as well as over on 90. So you're going to have again, a few wet spots on the roads here and there. We do have some fog to deal with. Junction, just beyond our viewing areas, up down to 3/4 of a mile visibility. That's the thickest fog. And then going down 35, got some fairly decent fog out there as well. Temperatures are actually up compared to this time yesterday. Very consistent. Thanks to the higher humidity, thanks to the cloud cover, mid-40s, and then dew points are kind of running neck and neck with those temperatures, and that's why we are seeing some fog out there. And as a matter of fact, dew points have gone up about 5, 6, 7 degrees compared to this time yesterday, and there is more humidity. There's going to be more humidity tomorrow as well, helping to feed some of these light little scattered showers, and temperatures won't be moving, if at all, this morning, maybe a degree or two, and then we will finally crack 50 degrees by noon, and still that 20% chance for 1 or 2 light little showers out there, just scattered about. I don't think we'll even see as many as yesterday, and computer models pretty much verifying that. 1 or 2 of those showers out there this afternoon, maybe even count them on one hand by late in the afternoon. Same thing tomorrow. Then we go into Thanksgiving, and we are going to have showers around the area. This storm system, this low, is going to be parked just to the north of us. It will sweep a front through here. We'll have showers, even a few thunderstorms off to the east and to the northeast, especially later on in the day. And then as everything kind of moves on out, we will continue to keep some of the rain around early on Friday, but then a lot of that will get this dry slot coming on in here, and so that will then tend to clear things out later in the day on Friday after starting off with a little bit of rain. So if you're one of those that likes to be there when the doors open early Friday morning, right now it's looking like it's going to be a bit damp. 50 at noon today. A couple of showers out there, and then a high temperature up to 55 with, again, just 1 or 2 showers scattered about here and there. Same thing tomorrow. We'll make it to 60 tomorrow, upper 60s on Thursday, and it's going to be on the wet side as I kind of sit in my push that hopefully the turkey is as moist as the weather is going to be on Thursday. So yeah, because we'll have a few showers out there, and that front will move on through early Friday, some rain to start off on Friday, and then that right now. And things are kind of, you know, we had the different opinions with different computer models. They were very different yesterday. Now they're kind of coming together as far as what this system is going to do, and it's going to clear us out later in the day on Friday.
At least not as cold on Thanksgiving.
No, it won't be as cold, and it won't be as cold this weekend. Nice looking weekend, cool mornings, probably sweatshirt weather in the afternoon.
Okay,
Not too bad.
Thank you, Mike. 524, 46 degrees.
Sing it, Mark.
No.
Cricket, cricket. It's a song that signals the unofficial start to Christmas, and it's already back on the charts. We're going to tell you where it's landed so far this week.
Sing it, Mike. It's not quite Thanksgiving yet, but a familiar Christmas tune has already made its annual return to the music charts.
You already know what it is. CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
All I Want for Christmas Is You is back. Mariah Carey's Yuletide classic has re-entered the Billboard Hot 100 at number 25, based on sales, radio airplay, and official streams.
I never thought I'd let anyone in again, ever. And then here you come. It was never about the song for me. It was you. It was always you.
Speaking of Christmas, Amy Garcia and Freddie Prinze Jr. star in the Yuletide romance Christmas with You. Prinze is no stranger to rom-coms, but says this one was different.
First of all, I don't get many opportunities to play a Latino in this industry unless it's an after-the-fact hire. Like the character's name is Mike Smith, and then they hire me, and the studio goes, "Oh, look, we can see we're diverse in our hiring," and now his name is Mike Ramirez. So when I get an opportunity, it's something that I've been ready for forever.
Christmas with You is now streaming on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
529, 46 degrees.
The murder of 4 Idaho students remains a mystery this morning. What police are saying about a 911 call from one of the 2 roommates who survived.
An estimated 166 million people are planning to shop starting Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. Why retail experts say this could be the biggest shopping season ever. Investigators are still trying to solve the brutal murders of 4 University of Idaho students. What police are saying now about the 2 roommates who survived and called 911.
And it's a chilly Thanksgiving week here in San Antonio, 46 degrees for now, and expecting things to, I don't know when I say warm up, but maybe just a little bit, Mike.
And good morning to you. It's Tuesday, November 22nd.
Thanks for joining us today. But yeah, enjoy the 46 degrees, the cooler weather that we're having for right now.
Indeed. I guess any 1 degree is technically warm up, so we are a little bit warmer than yesterday. Made it to the upper 40s yesterday. We'll crack 50 finally today, so there's a warm up for you. But still jacket weather and even umbrella weather, because we've got a couple of sprinkles still around here. Road is damp over there by 410. We haven't had a lot in the way of rain in the overnight hours, but there have been a few little showers out there. Had some sprinkles on the windshield coming into work this morning. We are at 48 right now. Dew point's at 45, so relative humidity is very high with these numbers running neck and neck, and that's one of the reasons why, with also no wind out there. Now, there's not any fog at the airport, but we do have a little bit of fog to deal with as of right now. And here's some of these just scattered light showers around the area. Right over here, just coming in Bandera Road, right inside Leon Valley. A couple of more over there by, well, almost by SeaWorld, and then a few more off to the northwest. If you're going out 10 in toward Leon Springs, you're going to run into a couple of these showers as well. And elsewhere, again, you zoom out and you almost have to squint to see some of these light little showers. They're sort of concentrated in and around the metropolitan area right now. A few more over there in Portia portions of Medina County. So this is going to be the situation this morning as well as this afternoon. Just a couple of showers out there. And as I was talking about with the higher humidity, we do have some fog up around New Braunfels, Stinson, Pleasanton, and then further out to the northwest. Rock Springs has actually improved somewhat in the past 45 minutes. And then fog out there even further west, heading out on 10 into Junction, and a lot down along 35 heading in toward Cotulla as well as Laredo. Mold is on the low side this morning, and throughout the rest of today, like I said, we cracked 50 finally at noon. Still a couple of showers around here, just one or two of them, but keep your umbrella handy just to be on the safe side. And 55 for a high temperature later on. We'll add to that and make it up into the low 60s tomorrow, and then continue to add to that on Thanksgiving with a few more showers around here. Looks like it is going to be wet on Thanksgiving, but then clearing on out for the long Thanksgiving weekend. Details on that in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, wet roads.
Yeah.
Problems?
Well, no problems just yet. But hey, we know a lot of folks are probably going to be hitting the roadways, maybe traveling out of town for Thanksgiving like myself. It looks like there was something going off 35 at Benz Engelman, but no major crashes are being reported at this point. There's Burbank. You can see traffic is moving along. We're seeing a few more folks out there now that the morning is kicking up, but notice that it's not as busy as we would probably see it on other mornings. In fact, it's probably because a lot of the schools may be closed for the holiday, and we know that maybe folks will have to head to work. So if you're at home, good for you. But if you do have to head out the door, thankfully, you really won't encounter much out there. But watch out for some of those spots that Mike was mentioning. As we take a look here at the map, we're keeping a close eye on pretty much everything, but we're not seeing any slowdowns. This is actually a very nice copy and paste situation morning. The map looks exactly the same as we left it at 5 o'clock when we first started the show. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of those travel times, because it doesn't look like there's any need to rush here as well. Pretty pleasant on I-37 northbound with 28 minutes to the Alamo City. Right now, Highway 90, usual drive time. It looks like about half an hour. And for our friends down in Lytle, your arrival should be about within 16 minutes on I-35 northbound. So travel times don't look too bad just yet, but we're going to keep a close eye on things here on TransGuide. Things are moving just fine, and we'll have updates on road closures to expect coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, stuff.
Stephen, thank you. We turn now to the investigation into the gruesome murders of 4 students at the University of Idaho.
As ABC's Makenna Whitworth explains, there is new information about the 911 call from inside that house.
As investigators continue to seek the public's help in solving the brutal murders of 4 University of Idaho students, police say multiple people inside that off-campus house were on the line with dispatchers when the 911 call was made. The call coming in just before noon, hours after police say Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Shanna Kernodle, and her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, were stabbed to death. Police say 2 roommates survived and that the 911 call came from one of their phones, but won't say who made the call.
When they woke up, that's when they noticed that they believed something was wrong. They called some friends, and the friends came over.
Authorities say the roommates were worried one of the victims had just passed out.
Were they able to see the roommate? Were they behind a locked door?
I'm not exactly sure the dynamics of what occurred inside the house.
The 2 surviving roommates were already in the house when police say the victims arrived home around 1:45 a.m. 20-year-old Ethan Chapin will be the first victim laid to rest. And authorities also confirming there was a dog at the home when they arrived. Kaylee's sister telling us that it was hers. They were again combing this crime scene today looking for clues. The property management company says this is a densely populated area, between 400 and 500 people living in a 1-block radius around this house. So authorities remain hopeful that somebody knows something. Makenna Whitworth, ABC News, Moscow, Idaho.
The U.S. Justice Department has determined that a U.S. Capitol police officer who died by suicide following the Capitol insurrection died in the line of duty. Officer Howard Liebengood died January 9, 2021. His widow, Serena, has been calling for his death to be classified as an in the line of duty so she could continue to receive health and financial benefits. In an open letter, she wrote that Howard was ordered to work practically around the clock for 3 days after the attack.
Australia's Prime Minister says there are no known injuries after 2 earthquakes hit the Solomon Islands today. Now, one was a magnitude of 7.0 just off the coast. A second quake with a magnitude of 6.0 struck nearby about 30 minutes later. Solomon Islands Meteorological Service said there is no tsunami threat to that country, but warned about unusual sea currents in coastal areas.
What's old is new again, as Disney investors hope a major change at the House of Mouse can reverse its fortunes. Shortly after Disney announced Bob Iger is taking the helm as CEO again, he issued a memo outlining a restructuring plan. He says it will put decision-making back into the hands of creative teams in a matter of months. Stakeholders in the company hope Iger can reignite some of the magic he brought to the company when he oversaw the acquisition of Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. Well, back here at home, the holiday season will be in full swing this week along the San Antonio River Walk as the Ford Holiday River Parade returns for its 41st year.
Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio with what people can expect from this parade. Sarah.
Morning.
Like these twinkling lights.
Like that, yes.
Right, and it's very festive, especially when you see those little twinkling river barges just kind of, they almost look like they're floating because of all the twinkling lights during this river parade. And this is San Antonio tradition. The River Walk will light up with the holiday river floats on Friday to kick off the holiday season. The parade takes place annually on the Friday following Thanksgiving. Illuminated floats and costume parade participants will float along the 1-hour parade route starting at 6 p.m. During the parade, 28 illuminated floats will travel along a 4-mile route beneath more than 100,000 holiday lights that will light up the Riverwalk. The Grand Marshal of this year's Ford Holiday River Parade will be none other than the Grinch himself. The theme will be taste and traditions around the world. Each parade float will represent a holiday tradition or a holiday meal in other countries, such as a gingerbread house or a kiss under the mistletoe. Tickets for the parade are already on sale, but there are several free viewing areas along the route where you can bring your own chair. Ticket prices range from $15 to $40. Children under the age of 2 do not require a ticket. Heads up, though, parents, strollers, and carriers are not allowed at the event for space reasons. And coming up at 9 a.m., our Tiffany Huertas will be live with parade organizers getting a preview of some of those river barge floats. Steph and Mark.
We are ready. Thank you very much, Sarah. Right now, 540, 46 degrees.
And do you have your wallet ready? Well, the shopping season is kicking off this week. We're going to show you how many will be shopping alongside you in the stores this weekend.
Outside with live cam, only 46 degrees. We've had some showers overnight. A few folks are on the road right now getting a jump start on their Tuesday. We'll talk to Steven and Mike coming up, and Mike's talking about some changes to the Thanksgiving Day forecast. 543, listen to this. The National Retail Federation predicts this could be the busiest holiday shopping season they have ever recorded.
CNN's Jen Sullivan shows us how shopping centers are gearing up for a big weekend.
Holiday cheer reaching historic levels. According to the National Retail Federation, an estimated 166.3 million people are planning to shop from Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. That's almost 8 million more than last year.
Today's shopper is very savvy when it comes to shopping around and finding what works best for them.
South Coast Plaza in Orange County, California is ready. The shopping center expects to break records this year in terms of foot traffic and spending. Executive Director of Marketing Deborah Gunn Downing says that's despite inflation, growing recession fears, and soaring interest rates on credit cards.
We're seeing people overcoming that because they want to do something special this season. We're forecasting a really strong finish to the year, so we will achieve over $2 billion in sales this year, a record.
The NRF says some Americans will likely cut back on other things. They're being more strategic when it comes to hunting for deals and comparing prices, but they still want to get into the holiday spirit after missing out during the pandemic.
They may be dipping into some savings. We know that some households were able to build up a fair amount of savings during the pandemic or through some of the stimulus programs that were in place.
Meanwhile, small business owners like Allison Ash say this is a critical weekend for her store, The Wrapper, and says shoppers are buying early and still shopping local.
Even if there's a recession, people want to make it happy, and they want to do whatever they can to, make sure their family has a good time.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
33 days till Christmas. 545 right now, 47 degrees.
Let's look outside with TransGuide. Looking over at the camera at I-35 at Burbank, things are moving. Also at I-35, 37. Looks pretty good so far, but we're going to be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos very soon.
Time check is 5:48. Happy Tuesday. If you plan to hit the roads in the next few minutes, let's get a quick look, see what you can expect. 6204 at Marbach, not a lot out there. We are seeing things moving, though, along Medio Creek. Just a few folks out there this early in the morning. I wouldn't say that you need to already head out the door, but you can see the map has stayed pretty quiet. And in fact, we just want to keep you in the loop of what's happening in and around town, especially when it comes to some of these road closures. State Highway 16 mentioned this yesterday, but here's what's going to be taking place, at least starting at 9. Should wrap today, though. 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, we'll see some utility work taking place. Alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Diamond K Trail. So again, plan your commute ahead of time. We know folks are out there still working, sometimes through the holidays. We want to make sure we give them plenty of room to get the job done. But let's get it back here on TransGuide. 10 at Camp Bull is still a quiet start to this Tuesday morning, but we'll watch things closely.
Time for a no shave update.
Yes, and great update here. So I was thinking about this. The first thing I woke up this morning, we started yesterday with maybe just a little over $11,000. We're now over that, $12,000, $12,181. And it's all thanks to our community, our viewers that are watching right now at home. And we've been hearing from a lot of the guys in and around our newsroom. So now we're going to hear from John Paul Barajas.
I'm taking part in No Shave November because we need to find a way to beat cancer. The American Cancer Society predicts over 600,000 people will lose their lives to some type of cancer in 2022 alone. That's why it's important to raise funds and awareness any way we can. So make sure to get yourself checked and donate if possible.
Shame it doesn't look more handsome than...
Okay, hey, wait, really quick here. This is our updated photo. Okay. Can we keep this up for just a moment? I want to just show our progress here.
Yes.
Everyone looks really great, and I know we keep talking about that smolder off. Look at Jonathan Cotto up in the corner there. Wow, like that lighting.
Really? And you had to put him above me?
Yeah. Yes. But you know what?
You look handsome too, Mike.
You know what? All the guys look great, and so we kind of have this running joke in our group chat that we have. It's smolder off between some of the guys. Jonathan started it. Somebody told me that David Sears looks like Woody Harrelson. I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I
right?
see that with his smolder there.
Dylan Collier looks like an elf on a shelf.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think Justin looks a little like Ryan Reynolds, but no, I got Cotto above me and then Max next to me. I'm like,
yeah, tough competition.
Yeah, you know what? But I have Steve right next to me. Look at that smolder right there at the bottom.
He looks mad.
Yeah.
Mike, we're not going to put up with your complaints this morning. You're still number one.
You're still number one. Hey, guys, let's get a look at that leaderboard. Yes, $1,800. So you are actually up from yesterday, Mike. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mark Austin, we're doing pretty well as well, 1,255.
Stagnant at 12.
Yeah, we got to move that along, guys. You know, I appreciate all the donations as well. Number 3, holding strong next to these two guys.
Awesome.
Max Massey, $995. If we want to get him to that $1,000 mark, somebody throw him $5 in there. Justin Horn, $781. And I have to give also a big shout out to Justin Horn because he's been pretty helpful in moving things along. Hey, and if you want to donate, scan that QR code. You can donate to John Paul. We just heard from him, or any of the guys in our team, or hey, our team as a whole. That will take you to our KSAT.com/no-shave page. We have a full list of information. Our team is holding the top spot in the country still.
Number one, baby.
Let's get to $20,000. There is still time to donate, guys. So thank you again to all our viewers, especially our GMSA viewers. Thank you, guys.
Yep. We got to think of some different way to keep this going somehow, as far as donations are concerned, you know?
Okay.
Maybe beards would get as long as the fur on that dog, so.
They keep you warm.
Yeah, exactly. So, caption, enjoying not being in the rain. Yeah, wet dog's one thing. Can you imagine a sheepdog getting wet? How long would it take to dry that thing? Anyway, thank you very much. He looked very contented out there as we're all of us sitting inside on these wet, cold days. And we got a lot of clouds hanging around right now. We do still have some showers around the area. Not really a heck of a lot, but just a few of them. Just these light little scattery showers here going up I-10 in toward Bernie, heading out 90 right in toward the Hondo, and then a lot more off to the east. This is going to be the situation throughout the rest of the day today, where it's just going to be a couple of light little sprinkly showers out there. 40% chance this morning to put a number on it. Temperatures, because of the high humidity, the cloud cover, aren't going to be moving, if at all, maybe a degree or two here or there. And then later on, we'll finally get up to 50 degrees. It'll be the first time we've seen 50 since going way back to last week. And still a couple of light little showers around the area. We top off at 55 later on this afternoon. So we'll still be well below normal by 15 degrees on average, and still some of these showers out there. At least it is going to be a bit warmer this afternoon. Still going to need a jacket, still going to need an umbrella, and again, just a couple of little sprinkles out there this afternoon, and that'll be the same thing going into tomorrow. A few showers to start off the day, and then one or two of them in the afternoon, but then again, add about 5 degrees to the temperature, and that's what it's going to be tomorrow, and then add to that on Thursday as well. Speaking of which, we will have showers around in the morning, and then continuing on through the day, even a few thunderstorms, especially off to the east on Thursday, going into the evening hours. And as the front then works its way on through here, that will help with some showers overnight into Friday morning. So starting off on the wet side on Friday, then we're going to be clearing on out. And a lot of computer models, and yesterday we were talking about how some computer models were just almost completely opposite solutions with this on Thursday, Friday. Now they've kind of come together, and it looks like we're getting this dry slot in here in behind that front moving through, and that's going to help to clear us out for Friday as well as for the weekend. 50 at noon today. A couple of showers out there, just one or two of them later on this afternoon. 55 high temperature tomorrow. We are going to be even warmer, getting up to 60, 68 on Thursday. It's going to be wet throughout much of the day on Thursday as far as rain chances. Then that front moves through. Showers early Friday. Then we're going to be clearing out. Looks like a nice weekend. Pleasant, cool mornings, nice afternoons, plenty of sunshine. More after this.
Ahead in the next hour of GMSA, it's a condition usually associated with older patients, but did you know that children could have dementia? We'll meet the family of a 6-year-old girl who is dealing with that rare disease. And let's tell you everything we know so far about a fast food fire that happened just west of downtown last night, including if anyone was hurt. And Steven's tracking traffic on another wet, cool morning out there across South Texas. You're watching GMSA. We're back after this.
Ahead this hour, a fast food fire just west of downtown is raising a lot of questions this morning. We're going to take a look at the damage.
I'm ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. We're hearing for the first time from the man that police are hailing a hero in the Club Q mass shooting in Colorado Springs. The details and the latest on the investigation coming up.
New measures being taken over at Meta with the hope of protecting your child or teen on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. We'll explain.
And are you ready for a break from that cold and the rain? Well, maybe just the cold for now. We're going to be checking in with Mike very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It's Tuesday, November 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a good week so far. I know the kiddos are probably having a good week just because they're off all week this time.
That's right. We continue to bundle up out there. And Mike Osterhage joins us now as we look ahead to Thanksgiving itself. And the forecast has changed just a little bit. He's coming up right here in a second. I don't know what we're doing here. Hi, Mike.
I'll switch over here.
Let's just simplify. Everybody just stand in the same shot.
There you
Zoom
go.
out.
There you go.
Yeah. So you said it's cold, not cold.
Right.
Okay. No, I'll take that. Still, it's that damp chill where it kind of sneaks down the back of your neck a little bit. And as far as...
It's still there.
Yeah,
it's still
okay.
there.
And as far as Thanksgiving is concerned, I'll scooch over here. We are going to have some showers around here. Yes, things are coming into focus a bit better and more agreement in some different computer models as far as what's going to be happening on Thanksgiving. First of all, today and right now, you can see we do have a lot of just scattered showers around the area, more off to the east, and just a few of them in and around San Antonio metropolitan area, heading out 90 in toward Hondo, going up 10. You're going to run into a couple of these showers, as well as 35 and even 281 down to the south. And there have been some showers off and on all morning long. So even though not everybody is seeing a couple of showers as of right now, and a decent one's coming in right there, 90 on the west side of town, just assume that all the roads are damp this morning because we have had some of these light showers overnight. Also, there is some fog. Randolph, Stinson, Pleasanton, a hint around New Braunfels, even going out west on 90 and toward Castroville, and more further out to the northwest, and then especially down to the southwest this morning. We'll be dealing with that for the next couple of hours. Temperatures are in the mid 40s, really consistent all the way around the area, thanks to the cloud cover, thanks to the humidity out there, and mold is on the low side. The updated count's going to be coming out in about an hour and a half or so. And throughout the rest of the morning, what you see is what you get. We're going to keep cloudy skies, some light scattered rain around the area, finally get up above 50 by early afternoon. First time we'll see 50 degrees in, wow, long time after these cold temperatures that we've been having, and then 55 for a high later on this afternoon. We will continue to add to that the high temperature tomorrow as well as on Thursday, and we'll talk about some better rain chances for Thanksgiving, plus a look ahead to the long holiday weekend in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Cabazos, what's going on?
Well, quiet roads this morning, Mike. Now at 6:03, let's get a quick look around town. 1604 Petrenko. We see more vehicles out there this early in the morning, but there at Pat Booker, not a lot going on. I mean, you do have folks out there. We know that some people still have to head to work like us here at KSAT, but of course, thankfully, the commute hasn't been too bad, but definitely picking up there along US 90 at Couples, one of the busier spots around town as folks are making their way into the Alamo City. But showing you the map here, it's just been, again, pretty quiet. Copy and paste, copy and paste. I've had a really easy day over here in the traffic lab, but things could change when morning rush does get here. Let's go ahead and just show you the travel times right now because things are still in the clear. As you can see, these three communities, no real need to rush right now. 28 minutes on I-10 westbound if you're traveling in from Seguin, so you're still in the green. A little bit more than half an hour if you're traveling in from Livonia on 87 northbound, but that's normal as well. And right now for our friends down in Floresville, 28 minutes is what you can expect for that drive time. But let's just show you those quiet roadways again. 35 at New Braunfels. I've had a pretty quiet morning here in the traffic lab enjoying my coffee. If you're at home, hey, enjoy your coffee as well. There's no need to rush out the door, but we'll keep you updated on what you can expect for this Tuesday morning commute. Mark Stuff.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police have arrested a 36-year-old man for attempting to burn down his apartment unit on the city's northeast side.
Sarah Costa is staying on top of this story and joins us in the newsroom. And Sarah, what was the reason he gave police for his attempt to set his apartment on fire?
Good morning, Mark and Steph. He told police he wasn't trying to burn his apartment unit down, but that he was cleansing his home with fire for religious reasons with incense. But that's not what police say they saw through video security cameras. Take a look. This is 36-year-old Roger Roel. His neighbor called police at 4 in the morning on November 10th after she saw Roel through her security camera igniting a fire to his apartment door frame. Police went out to the apartments on Perrin Vital to review that video footage. In a police affidavit, it says Roel was seen igniting 3 separate fires to his apartment door frame. Those fires extinguished on their own so they didn't spread to the rest of the building. In more surveillance video, however, from 3 days later, police say Roel is seen lighting something on fire inside his apartment, then placing that on an open flame on his window, then throws that object outside as it is burning. Then later that night, police say Roel is seen igniting his window on fire again. Police confirmed with apartment managers about the fire damage done inside the unit to the carpet, stove, and floor. Roel was arrested by SAPD yesterday after admitting to starting those fires. He is facing charges of arson to his own residence. Mark and Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, cleanup underway after a fire at a fast food restaurant just west of downtown. Happened at a Wendy's on West Commerce near Hull Street around 11 last night. Crews say they found smoke and a small fire burning near a bird's nest and some wiring in a top corner of the building. The restaurant was just about to close and no injuries were reported. A health inspector will be called in before the business is allowed to reopen again.
We now know the name of a passenger killed during a crash on Thursday as the driver was trying to get away from Bexar County Sheriff deputies. Now, the victim is 33-year-old Amber Ponce. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. The crash happened last Thursday on I-35 near Frio Street. A deputy attempted to pull over the vehicle that was going 40 miles per hour on the highway. And that's when the driver sped off. The car then went over the edge of the highway ramp and landed on the street below. Ponce was taken to the hospital where she later died. That driver has been identified by Bexar County sheriffs as a 19-year-old James Chancellor. He is still in the hospital and is now facing murder charges.
Today marks 59 years since President John F. Kennedy was gunned down in Dallas. It happened in 1963 after the president visited San Antonio the day before. President Kennedy shot and killed while riding in a motorcade through downtown Dallas. Gunman Lee Harvey Oswald was later arrested and killed by Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby just 2 days later. The assassination spawned numerous conspiracy theories about what happened and who all was involved. Well, now to the latest developments from Club Q, the mass shooting out of Colorado Springs where 5 people were killed and nearly 19 others were wounded.
For the first time, we are hearing from the man who police are calling a hero, an Army veteran who potentially saved dozens of lives that night.
ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Washington.
Good morning. The suspect had a prior record for making violent threats against his mom. Despite that, law enforcement officials say he was still able to make a legal purchase of a semi-automatic rifle when that previous case got dismissed.
This morning, U.S. Army veteran Richard Fierro speaking publicly for the first time since police credited him for taking down the gunman inside Club Q in Colorado Springs, potentially saving dozens of lives. He was with his wife, daughter, and friends Saturday when shots rang out.
I saw him and I went and got him.
His combat training in Iraq and Afghanistan kicked in.
I think he went for his pistol. I don't know. Either way, I grabbed the pistol from him. I just kept wailing on him. And I told the kid in front of me, kick him in his head.
A hero in the eyes of many, but not in his own. His daughter's boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, among those fatally shot.
There are 5 people that I could not help, and one of which was family to me. I'm not excited. That guy is still alive, and my family is not.
The 22-year-old suspect, Anderson Lee Aldrich, facing murder and hate crime charges. He's seen here in an arrest last year with his hands up, taken into custody for allegedly making bomb threats against his own mother. Sources telling ABC News that case was dismissed because his family refused to cooperate.
The suspect was due in court Monday for his first appearance, but the DA tells ABC News his injuries were so significant he had to stay in the hospital. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
New steps being taken to prevent teens from messaging adults on Facebook or Instagram who've been blocked or reported by a young person. Meta is also looking into removing the message button on teens' Instagram accounts when a suspicious account views their profile. The threat of a railroad strike looming larger today here in the U.S. One of the biggest railroad unions in America now says its members have voted down a proposed contract deal brokered by the White House. If there's no agreement, rail workers could strike next month.
The government is cracking down on ringless voicemail. The FCC says the silent messages that leave spam in your inbox are subject to the same rules that forbid robocalls without consent. So companies will need your permission before leaving the ringless voicemail. It is getting more likely that your next Domino's delivery could be in an electric car. The pizza chain says it is set to buy hundreds of electric vehicles from GM to bulk up its delivery fleet at locations across the country. Domino's says a lack of vehicles has been a drag on attracting drivers.
6:10, 47 degrees.
After the break, 2 birds are getting a second chance at life thanks to a holiday tradition.
Back here at home outside with live cam as we build up to Turkey Day. We're going to talk turkey with Mike Ostrager about some changes to the forecast. May not be quite as rosy as we thought, or what to do as far as maybe going for a walk after that big meal on Thursday.